Hello people of the internet, today we are here to ask the question, Wisp.
Yeah! What is it good for?
Indeed, what is the Warframe Wisp good for? To answer this, we will take a look at its abilities inside the simulacrum and then take it out into the live environment to see those abilities in action. Before we start, I would like to point out that this video will have some spoilers in regard to story throughout the game. So if you have not yet completed the Second Dream and War Within quest lines, I would recommend switching off the video now and coming back to it after you have done those quests. You will need to have done those to gain this frame anyway. If however you have already done these quests or just simply do not care about spoilers, then let's get to it. Wisp's first ability is Reservoirs. Choose and summon a reservoir filled with motes that attach to and aid Wisp and her allies. Haste mote grants increased movement and attack speed. Vitality mote increases maximum health and heals over time. Shock mote stuns nearby enemies. Tapping this ability will cycle through the different motes available to you. Holding down the ability will cast that mote and place it on the ground. I start with Vitality here, which boosts Wisp's health from 740 to 1202. You may also notice that I have also now gained a buff that heals Wisp for 46 health per tick. Next I cast the Haste mote, which grants Wisp 30% movement and attack speed. Again, you may see a buff in the top right of the screen. Finally, I cast the Shock mote, which instantly starts to shock the enemies nearby. This will cause a little bit of damage, not too much, but it will also CC them in turn for a short period. After stepping through the area these motes occupy, Wisp and its teammates will pick up the associated buff. Should that Warframe move out of the mote's area of effect, they will carry the buffs with them for a set duration of time, which can be increased with duration mods. Wisp's second ability is Willo Wisp. Cast forward a spectral image of Wisp to confuse and distract enemies. Reactivate to travel to its position. Hold to have the image travel faster and teleport to its position on release. You can use this ability to close the gap or retreat from enemies as you see fit. As stated in the tooltip, there are two speeds depending on whether you hold down the ability or simply press it twice. Wisp's third ability is Breach Serge. Open a dimensional breach to overwhelm nearby enemies and cause them to release aggressive surge sparks when damaged. Wisp may also target a reservoir to teleport to it and double the range of the surge. To demonstrate the teleport, I have climbed up to this ledge and I will use the ability to teleport to my reservoirs down below and attach the breach to the enemies below at the same time. Now that this is applied, you can see that the enemies let off red sparks when I attack them, causing quite a bit of radiation damage to nearby enemies. The colour is down to me changing the appearance of my energy abilities to red, other coloured sparks are available. Wisp's fourth ability is Soulgate. Open a portal to the sun to irradiate enemies with a devastating beam of pure solar plasma. Hold fire to double damage at the cost of increased energy consumption. For the duration of an attack, enemies damaged by Soulgate are increasingly more vulnerable to it. This ability is an absolute solar powered nuke. It will melt enemies in no time. Now that we know what Wisp can do, let's take it out into the live environment to see it in action. Wisp is great whenever you can group up with other players and provide the mote buffs. This can be survival, excavation, defense missions and many more. For this example, I have chosen the defense mission Hydron on Sedna. The increased attack and movement speed from the haste mote means we can melt waves in no time. The vitality mote keeps the team's health topped up and can easily out-heal a Nox toxic poison attack at this level. The shock mote periodically stuns the enemies, giving you more time to take them down if needed. It really is, especially when you have Breach Surge to fall back on if you happen to get overwhelmed, and the Soul Gate to simply melt a Nox or Hyenka. Wisp really does make this mission a trivial affair, which is great when you want to farmer and level something really quickly. Now that we have seen what Wisp can do, you may be wondering how to get your hands on this Warframe. To do that, you must have completed the majority of the story content in the game as stated at the start of the video. Then when you have access to the road below list on Jupiter, you can head on in and fight this boss. The boss fight is split into 3 phases. Each phase requires you to first take down the shield of the boss with your Tenno's amp. When that is done, you can skate along to one of the 3 power generators in this room. You then need to ensure that when the boss tries to shoot its large beam at you, you are able to hide behind the generator and get it to shoot the glass plating off of it. I should note at this point that you can still remove its shield with the amp if you did not do so before. When that is done, you then need to jump at the boss and grab hold. You can then steer it into the generator, which will send it spiralling into the central platform where you began the fight. Here you can now target its midsection and joints with your normal weapons, a lot like the Eidolon fights on Cetus if you have ever done those. Doing enough damage will make the boss drop to the ground. At this point you can click the panel on this platform to send a huge beam of damage at the boss. You need to rinse and repeat this process 3 times. After the 3rd blast, the boss will be defeated and you can head on to extraction. Doing so will net you a Wisp part blueprint. In this instance I received the chassis blueprint. All 4 parts including the main blueprint are available from this mission, as you can see from the drop table here, so there is no need to purchase the blueprint from the marketplace as with most Warframes. Once you have all 4 blueprints, you can craft this Warframe. RNG will be in charge of the amount of times you need to defeat the roll below list. So there you have it, we have taken a look at Wisp and what it is good for. Thank you very much for watching. Please click the like button if you enjoyed this video. If you would like me to make a video like this for another Warframe I have not yet covered, then please let me know in the comments down below and I will do my best to facilitate. Also subscribe and click the notification bell to be notified when the next video arrives. Thanks again and I will see you next time.